Good morning and welcome to our weekly Bible prophecy update. We're so glad that you're joining with us here today. Well, this brings us to Black Lives Matter. It gets worse. How you doing so far? You okay? Do you want to leave? We'll bow our heads, close our eyes, and you can slip out. Doubtless, you've heard the saying, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people will in turn hurt people. Well, so too do deceived people deceive people. There are a couple of videos that are making the rounds on YouTube with clips of the Black Lives Matter co-founder admitting that they call up the spirits of the dead and offer up gifts to the dead. They also admit that they're empowered by these spirits and that Black Lives Matter is a spiritual movement. Well, here's the problem. These spirits of people that they think are people that have died are demons, mimicking those people. And these people are being deceived by demons and are deceiving people with the doctrine of demons. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit expressly says that in latter times some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Revelation chapter 16, verses 13 and 14. John writes, "And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs," which, by the way, this is interesting, and I, again, don't want to get too far into this, but there is a renewed interest in the frog god of the Egyptians as of late, recently. The god Kek, the frog god. You know, in the plagues, by the way, every single one of the plagues was against one of the many false gods that the Egyptians had. They worshiped the Nile as a god, and God, the true God, turned it into blood. They worshiped all of these things, and they worshiped frogs, which is why you like frogs. You worship frogs? Have some frogs. So John writes, "And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are spirits," listen, "of demons, performing signs." Does that sound a little bit like 2 Thessalonians chapter 2? "Which go out to the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty." Let me say it like this. They're getting their marching orders, their rioting orders from demons. That's where they're getting it. It's demonic. It's from the pit of hell. It's a doctrine of demons. And it has a purpose, like this manufactured pandemic. It's a deception. And this deception has now led to the infiltration of the church. And this is why it is that there are churches, pastors, denominations that are coming out. I hate to say it like that, but for lack of a better way of saying it, in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's a deception. And Satan is using it because he's seeking in that deception destruction. That's his end game. That's where the goalposts are. He seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. We'll talk about it more when we are in 1 Timothy chapter 3, second service, about keeping the church open. But I just want to make this comment that don't you find it even just a little bit strange that you can go to Portland, Oregon and participate in demonic lawlessness and destroy? I mean, they're destroying everything. Again, destruction. Deception, destruction. But you can't go to church. You've got elected officials, you'll forgive me, that are pleading here on Oahu with churches to close. And I say, I'm sorry, but elected officials, the chief of police, the mayor, the governor, the lieutenant governor, should never plead with the church to close, nor should the church ever plead with them to stay open. It is not a privilege granted by the government. It's a command given by God. What in the world? What is happening? What in the world is happening? I would think I'm going out of my mind. And some of you would argue that you are. Fine. I'm sorry for yelling. It's a gift. I have the gift of yelling. It is a custom in my country. It's my story and I'm sticking with it. Here's the bottom line. All this is evidence proving beyond any reasonable doubt that said deception is the source of the controlled demolition of the global economies and the global governments and the uniting of all the world's religions under the control of the Antichrist. You know, my inbox and my email and even mail, I get it all the time. Hey, we're scheduling this interfaith event to pray. You're inviting me? No, you don't want me there. You don't want me there. They're praying to a different God, a false God. Further, it's an orchestrated opposition here in America which will lead to the destruction of America. All that's happening is a choreographing of the steps leading to what they call the Great Global Reset, aka the Great Awakening, which is to a false Luciferian light, which will usher in what the New Age refers to as the age of Aquarius. And interesting, if you get into this, don't get into this New Age teaching, but they actually teach that there's going to be this cosmic event, and there's going to be this mass disappearance of people. Well, I'm glad you responded that way, because that tells me you know what they're talking about. And here's what's really fascinating. The people that disappear are now out of the way. The bad people. And the good people are the ones that are left to usher in this new age. This new brave world. This utopia, which is a false utopia. They have no idea. They're deceived. It's a lie. It's the lie. Well, one more thing on that. They're going to explain the rapture that way. The disappearance of all of these people. Now they're out of the way. Good riddance. To which I say, aloha. No, I'm sorry. In a sanctified way, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. But here's the thing. Right now, with the restrainer, as Christians, we are the salt and the light. The salt preserves the rottenness, and the light stays the darkness. I know this is a terrible illustration, but it's the best I've got, and if you've got a better one, please let me know. But have you ever noticed there's no such thing as a dark switch? I'll give you a second. There's a light switch. How do you turn off the darkness? There's no dark switch. You just turn on the light. Darkness is gone. You get the point? We're the light. Jesus is the light of the world. And we don't cover that light. So here's what's going to happen. When the rapture happens, here's how and you'll pray for me, I'm sure. I know many of you do. You should, really, because here's how I see it. It's like, you know what? You can have this world when we're gone. But right now, we're still here. Build a bridge and get over it. Actually, that's what my wife always says to me. Build a bridge and get over it. But actually, it should really be build a bridge and get them to Jesus while there's still time, before it's too late.